the attempt to get hold of the nervous system of humans by utilizing radio frequencies, mainly microwave. Military technology is abused by the intelligence community as parts of a transhumanistic technology, particularly at plasma, especially at the piezo crystals. This is about getting access to the nervous system of all living creature in nature by dissolving parts of the nervous system and making it recrystallize and reconnect to these piezo crystals who serve as antennas, collect external radio signals, and introduce them into the nervous system that is rebuilding, just using barium and strontium instead of copper. Some of the people know the Morgellons disease. It looks like blue and red fibers grow out of the skin. It has many, many more aspects of this disease. And this is not accessing the nervous system, but this is accessing the DNA light communication. Basically introduce agents like hollow fibers into the body that contain quantum dot liquids, a color that is shining, radio controlled, introducing light into the human body that is readable as biophotons. You can digitize the thought or the experience, send it on a radio frequency. This synthetic biology that appears as the Morgellon disease in certain cases.
Why do some people have the breakout?
Mainly with vaccinations in early youth, which is giving a load of mercury. The mercury gives you many, many infections during childhood. So what normally doctors give is antibiotics. Antibiotics completely destroy the balance of microorganisms within the body. So they're killing the probiotic Candida. And when you stop taking antibiotics, the entire body is resettled by not probiotic Candida, but by the pathogen forms that exist. These forms basically do one thing. They love acidity and they love heavy metals, and they're very intelligently organized, so they switch off the function of the liver. So the liver is still cleansing the blood, but the lymphatic system doesn't cleanse the liver anymore. This function is blocked by these Candida forms. Next step would be Borrelia. Loves acidity and heavy metals. And the heavy metals carry external fields into the body, and Borrelia really, really don't like electromagnetics, so they panic and start to tenfold the reproduction rate. So the body is getting a load of Borrelia on top of the Candida, adding more acidity, and at a certain point, the Morgellon fungi that everybody has somewhere in his body are taken by the body as a chance to deposit heavy metal pollution. Actually, the fungus is, at that moment of disease, your best friend, because if it wouldn't be there, if the body wouldn't allow the fungus to grow, the heavy metals would be in the blood, in the brain, in the cell tissue. And if it lets the fungus grow, the fungus takes in all this poison and encapsulates it. So it's not in the system anymore. This is why this disease is getting visible, because the body stops fighting the fungus. It is very, very easy to cure it, because all you need to do is reestablish a healthy environment to reestablish the probiotic Candida forms within the body. And then the entire pyramid collapses and the Morgellons disappear on their own.
The most powerful killer called Candida. Normally we have Candida living in our bodies and it doesn't bother us. There's actually 20 different types, but it's when we take an antibiotic that then lowers our defenses and then we get an overgrowth of Candida. Candida is a fungal infection caused by yeast, the most common being Candida albicans. If it's on the tongue, it's called thrush. That's where you get the white tongue. There's a lot of other symptoms as well. It's the overgrowth of Candida, but just realize that normally we have Candida that is living in our body and it's not creating any problems. Garlic. Garlic, hands down, is the most powerful fungus killer. It has a natural phytochemical that's responsible for this effect called AOE.
Okay, what's the big deal about Candida? It's in two parts. It is a yeast, it can turn into a fungus. When it gets a fungus, that's when it's dangerous. But it's linked to a number of different conditions.
Because this compound thins your blood naturally. Of course, if you just take garlic, you can start putting in the food on a regular basis, and you'll start slowly killing this off. You need to also fix the diet, okay? You have to lower your sugar. If you're using garlic and you're still consuming sugar and your carbs are still too high, I don't think it's ever gonna go away. You wanna starve this fungus off and reestablish the friendly flora.
So everybody does have Candida. We all do. We all have different funguses. And you're going to find out that it's not really an issue. In fact, we need the Candida in our system to feed certain bacteria. Dr. Simoncini, he actually has a number of studies where he is proving that a lot of cancers are fungal in origin, where you can actually treat it with baking soda, as simple as that is.
Garlic is not just an antifungal. It's an antibacterial, and it has very powerful antiviral properties, and it's been also shown to be very effective on basal cell carcinoma, the most common form of skin cancer.